Alright, let's look at this game. Alright, well, off to a rocky start already. So the cool thing about Karthus is Karthus basically never has to face check anything because you can always Q bushes. So I'm not even against you going for this ward. I feel like a lot of other coaches would be like, don't go for the ward, you're weak level 1, like some bullshit. Just do it better. Instead of walking like this, you can walk like this. When you're here, you can Q the bush. You walk here, Q the bush again. If you don't see anyone, then you can slowly walk in, and then you can place a ward, and then you'll be safe. Um, I've nothing against this ward. I think you could do it. I just think you have to check bushes first. There's no reason not to. Obviously, as the junglers, we have crazy mana regen, so queuing the bush 2 or 3 times, you'll have, I guarantee you'll have your full mana by the time you start your first camp. So this is just lazy.
Go up. I always do that.
It's all good though. We die, but we get like what 2 flashes I think, so not the biggest deal low key. 10 year spamming him. I fucking love you, bro. It never, never gets sold. I don't know why I'm ever surprised. It is okay. We full cleared down. Looks like both jungles full clearing down. So in this matchup is a really interesting matchup. So you're both like Omega hard full clear champs. So it's really important that you never drop tempo. Because when you're against a full clear versus full clear matchup, if you ever drop tempo and like let's say you skip your camps for like a gank or something, and he takes your camp, the game is like jungle is over. So it's really important to when you're in these matchups to be super disciplined on your camps and not skip them. And it's really important that you're not just playing low tempo. I really like this going a long way to avoid getting ganked. This is good. I think in this case it's not necessary just because you have this ward. So you'd see him if you actually no. Never mind. I lied. He could go this way. So I like this a lot. This is good. Looks like he didn't come, but it's just still good for habit. Same logic here. He could technically still be in this bush, so you can Q this just to be safe. Especially because you have blue buff, so you literally lose nothing. We go for bot crab here. Now we push it up and go double crab. Perfect. This is a perfect early game for you. Base here, run back to Gromp. Perfect. No complaints. And then this guy is evading you. Don't forget to press W. You haven't pressed W once yet. You haven't pressed exhaust yet either. You just have to press W. This 1-for-1 still fine, but you have to understand your W. I forget the exact numbers. I think it's 30% magic pen or something or slow. It gives it magic pens them and it slows them. I think it's 30% slow and like 10% magic pen. I forget the exact numbers, but the point is,
25
yeah, it's
and
some.
40% slow.
Thank you, sir. So obviously, if you W him, it's unmissable. So you W him, and your Qs are going to be all guaranteed because he's slowed, and it's going to be harder for him to get on you because he's slowed, and all your Qs and your Es, all your damage is going to be amplified because of the magic pen. So I genuinely think if you W'd him, he would have died like a solid second earlier. Like instead of he'd be dead right now, like he'd already be dead. Instead of having to click him and walk in, you'd be dead, and then you can maybe click out and force them to chase after you. Again, if you have this wall this entire time, then the Fury would have been slowed chasing after you, and then you might be able to outrun her. She also has no flash because he burned at level 1 trying to kill you. So unironically, if you exhausted earlier, W'd earlier, you might kill this Udra and just walk out like nothing ever happened. Um, but it's still honestly not bad. You got the Gromp and you got 1-for-1. So if I'm you, I'm not even upset. This is literally better for you than it is for the Udra. He didn't even get the kill. He got the assist. So TLDR is still good for you, but don't forget to W and exhaust earlier. And if you live, it's obviously even better for you. All right. Karthus W is a super underrated ability. The slow and magic pin on it is crazy. Now you play for this. I think without smite, this is probably not worth. If you have smite, I like this because you have a better execute than he does. You can just Q smite it. But without smite, you'll never get this in a million years, and also you'll almost never kill Udyr because he can always just empower E and run away. And I think you know that you guys are same tempo because you guys died at this exact same time. So he can always meet you here. The only way you can get these raptors, is if you skip your wolves runs right there, because you are technically up 1 camp of tempo, because you have 1 camp up top side and he has 2 camps up top. But because it's in his jungle, let's say you're 6 seconds faster because you're up 1 camp. This is 6 seconds to walk from wolves to raptors. So you're actually, when it comes to invading him, you're actually exactly equal tempo. when it comes to invading. You're up tempo if it's at a neutral point like river, then you'll be there first compared to him. But in a spot where it's in his jungle, then you're even tempo, right? So I don't mind the raptor invade, but you can only raptor invade if you're skipping wolves. And if you don't want to skip wolves, which I agree, I don't want to skip wolves either, then you should just full clear down. Make sense?
Yeah,
Now, so we go for this. We don't get anything. We get a chunk, but it doesn't matter. He'll just heal the full in his jungle. Now we go to our raptors and then our Krugs. Now we can play for top crab. Wonderful. Now his red's up because you both start top side. So when your blue spawns, his red spawns. So if you want, so thankfully if you want to, you can play for invade. I think especially when once you find out he's on dragon. Three. Let's
I
see where
just
you're.
simply prefer to go for my blue.
Okay. Blue wolves. I'd be shocked if that kills. Yeah. Or the game card. This holds really no damage. Play for raptors. Now play for grubs on spawn. And now, yeah, nice. I don't know why you're opening like this. I just would full clear upwards. I would do Krugs, red, raptors, and by then your Gromp's back up, and then you'll do Gromp wolves. When you open like red like this, it's telling me that you want to gank or invade. But I don't think it's possible. Mid's pretty impossible to gank because you guys have no CC. You have Katarina, so you have no CC for mid, no CC on you. And the Fury's obviously very mobile. She has a jump, she has an invulnerability, so mid's ungankable, and bot is like half HP too low. So I think in this case, bot's ungankable, mid's ungankable, and we're just gonna play full clear. Red, Krugs red, blah 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 blah. Because you have no prio in either lane, you can't fight this. You have no flash, so if you walk in, you'll just die. I think you're skipping your Krugs for no reason, and now you're late to your Gromp. Because if you did Krugs right afters, you'd be on Gromp on spawn. But now your Gromp's just up for like 30 seconds before you kill it. Let's catch top wave. Catch top wave is really good. This is really good for you. Getting a kill and assist. You don't have Dark Seal sadly, but it's fine. Take his Raptors. Take midwave. This is really good. Hit that tower a little bit. This is a little too much now. We have 2k gold. I really want you to base ASAP. And you could have, if you have your 2k gold for, this guy's actually not even stopping you. This guy's just letting you pass. So if this guy was like Eing on you, that'd be one thing. Because then if he E's on you, he's so far from his towers, right? But I think now, again, you have dragon spawning. If you can base right now and buy like, I don't know what you're gonna buy. You could buy large rod boots, dark seal amtone. You can buy sorks straight up and then double amtone. You can buy so many different items, whatever you prefer. I don't care. And then you'll base and you'll do Gromp, Wolves, Raptors, and you'll fight this dragon. You'll show up to this dragon level 10 with obviously an I'm and a half, and I think you will be strong enough to just like solo win your team this dragon fight. Um, but my only concern is if you don't base, don't spend your 2,000 gold, run to the jungle, die here, then they are gonna get dragon, and then the game becomes a mess. And you're fighting here when your mid's in base, your AD carry's in base. Do we have any idea where their mid laner is? Okay, their mid laner's dead. But he just respawned in 3, 2, 1, and he'll have death tempo. This is just scary, I don't know. Chasing so far. Their Smolder can come here technically as well. And our AD carries in base, mid's in base. Smolder can come, Udrin can come. We're in a 2v3. Eventually their mid will come. I don't know, this is really scary. Let's see how this turns out. Maybe it turns out well. No, of course it doesn't. So you die. It's only 1-for-1, actually. It's not the worst. And then technically this guy killed them too. So didn't end up being bad. But it's not. I would not exactly call this a replicable play. I also think there's no reason why Nefiri had to die. It had nothing to do with you. Nefiri is full HP, and then he just died to Katarina. So if Nefiri doesn't die, it would be a 1-for-1, which is worse for us because now our exhaust is down for a dragon fight, and 1-for-1's not even because we had a shutdown. So I think just base and play into dragon is just a more concrete play. And here, maybe you didn't notice, but because of the assists you got while you're dead, You actually have boots now, so I would buy boots here as well. Okay. We're playing full clear down. Top dies, so we try to take top wave. Okay, let's do this. Maybe you didn't notice. I don't know if you did, but this guy just placed a ward, so we know Leona's up here. So now I'm already somewhat, you know, thinking of this guy. A bit sad. Honestly, I'm not even gonna blame you here. I didn't think you'd die either. So if I didn't think you'd die, I'm not gonna blame you for dying. It happens. I think my real takeaway here, I just realized, because you weren't pressing tab, so I didn't know. If your GP doesn't have TP, I think you're right. You should cover top tower, because if he doesn't have TP, Garen's gonna get too many plates, and he might even get first tower, which is just too much gold to give to a Garen. But if you press tab here and see that GP has TP, you should never go top tower. You should just full clear down for dragon, wolves, raptors, scuttle, dragon, and just play with your bot lane. Um, and here you press tab. You saw he had TP. He's up in 12 seconds. There's no point to go top. You're going top for 3 minions. It's 3 range creeps. It's not worth it. I'd rather just have tempo into bot side and play into dragon as fast as possible. So if he had TP, if he didn't have TP, I think this is good. If he has TP, it's bad. In this case, he had TP, so it's bad. You're not stopping any plates from falling. You're not catching no big wave. There's no point to go up here. All you're doing is I don't even care about the death. It's just that you're delaying your time on the map. Because right now, if I'm Udyr, and I saw you go topside, I would take your Raptors and Krugs, and it's really really bad for you. Okay, now we clear down. When we see Leona top, we should have some urgency to start Dragon because we know we have support advantage for the Dragon fight. Okay, these guys int. It's not your fault. This is not your fault. You should take your E off because you're losing a lot of mana though. The 3v3 is still playable afterwards, potentially, if they run into you. Especially because you got level 11. So it's still. You can just chill, wait for Katarina to spawn, then when Katarina's up, then we can play for Dragon. I guess we want to trade. I think trading's fine too. Garen came down. Garen's really strong. If Garen didn't come down, I would say don't trade. But since Garen walked down, I'd say trade. You're you're using your E too much when you're clearing camps. You're not supposed to be this I think on the first clear and second clear is fine, but this late in the game, you could just Q to kill them. When you start putting points in your E, the mana goes up way too much. Like right now, it's 54 seconds per second. Level 1, it's 30 mana. It's already almost doubled. So I think you're kind of constantly And obviously, if you didn't use E as much, you'd have Q. Maybe you still can't kill it in time. I'm not sure, but shouldn't be this close. And or also right before you start it, was the fruit up? Yeah, before you start, you could just eat the fruits now, get full mana, and then you won't fall into the issue. That's small stuff, but again, as you know, these small things really do add up and matter. Here, what I would do is especially I personally don't like taking exhaust like Karthus because I feel like when you're no flash and you get jumped on, you're just gonna get one shot. But when you do have exhaust, you have to be like super on edge and paranoid and scared. So I would walk here and W this bush, like walk here and then W this bush. When you W, it reveals like the entire fucking river. It's like it's like an ashy. It's huge. So I don't want to get flanked. I don't want to get any chances to get flanked. You saw Garen and Udyr like you see Udyr right now cross through mid into left side, and then you see Garen also cross through mid. So if you had no idea where they've been, you haven't seen them forever, then I won't ask you to schizo press W because then it's just hindsight. But in this case, when you literally saw them on the map walk into the left side of the jungle, you should have like alarm bells going off. I need to know where these guys are. Where the fuck are they, guys? I'm gonna be queuing every bush. I'm gonna be Wing the river. I must see Garen and Udyr. You know. Um, So I think you could have some more. I think you could have potentially prevented this death if you're queuing and Wing Fog War more, and you would have saw Garen. Herald's gone. Try to go back to our full clear. this is so fucked up. You could try to turn on your E before he jumps in. At least you're burning them. But you don't even have your E on. You could even turn it on as he's Eing. So right, you could see even as you're rooted. Karthus can still E when he's rooted. He just can't E when he's stunned. So when he's your E, you can still E. But then when he Qs you, now you can't E. Because at the very least, you might die here. But if you can get 600 damage off on Leon and Garen as they're diving you, it's maybe your team can still do something. But no, it's obviously just too fucked up. It still ends up being a 1-for-1, so it's not the worst. But that's just something. When you don't take exhaust on Karthus, you really gotta be Wing here. He also walked into his. Did he flash here? Did he just walk into his E range? Yeah, I mean this is no excuse. If Leona E range is this big, Karthus Q range is this big. Like you can Q him and he can't E you. So I think you're just spacing poorly, and if you think you're bad at spacing, then you should just invest in early tier 2 so you have more movement speed to play around with, because your Q range is way farther than his E range. I thought for a second he flash E'd you, that's why I didn't really blame you. But now that I rewatched it and he just straight up raw E'd you, there's no excuse. You should always be able to sidestep it or just play at the very max range of his E. Because at this point,
Wait, is it is it really that large like a Karthus? I did not know.
no, because okay, let's say he's here, he can't Q him like this, but here he can Q here, and this will hit his feet. See what I mean?
Oh. Mhm.
So that's why maybe like so. Yes, Carlos Q can always hit him, but but right now from here, this will not. If he's standing here, this Luna cannot E here, but Carthus can still Q him. So yeah, it's a pretty large
Oh.
range. Just if you're playing for the tip of it, like I'm saying.
I feel like it's also good to wait because I think Leona thinks that she's off vision.
No,
With the way she's
Yeah.
playing.
it's a pink.
I don't know.
She knows.
Oh, it's a pink. I'm
Yeah.
trolling.
But also keep in mind, you also you also have red smite. So just by Wing this guy, he's gonna be so slow. The W is slow, and then the red smite slow, and then it should be way easier to space him with your Qs and to space his E. So if you're gonna go, I personally go blue smite on Karthus, but if you're gonna go red smite, you really should be playing to slow them and not let them get anywhere near you. Pretty good team fight. I think this is a good example of you playing max range Q. Like this, look at this. This is like queuing. You're not in the only range. Now you walk in, but it's fine because your teammates are around you. Queuing. Like, if your teammates are all with you, then sure you can play either range. Uh, at the start of this fight, they weren't really on you, so you're playing max range Q, max range W. Like it's funny because a lot of times Karthus can unironically in teamfights be played as like a poke champion. Because if you're just landing Qs, each Q is like 500 damage. So if you're landing 4 Qs, you're just doing 2,000 damage off rip. So as long as you're safe, it's like this is the best fight you played all game, and that's because you're just safely queuing at a distance, safely dubbing at a distance, and just playing with your team. So, but you're just really you have to you really have to turn off your E. Like here you had your E on for twice, 3 times, and it's just 4 times now. It's just 200 mana off rip, or 240 mana actually. You turned it on again. It's just too much mana. When you put 3-4 points in E, unless you have blue buff, you can almost, unless it's like in a fight where they're diving into you, you can never have your E on. Right now, look, it's 78 mana per second, or just per activation. Okay, this MF's the best player on Earth. God bless. No mana, Karthus. I don't think it matters. I don't think this guy's ever dying. No, that was a really good Otacon fight. If I was I would be happy. Got a lot of money. Got the Otacon. Let's see their items. Zani's isn't bad, especially because you're getting to. I think Zani's is fine. I think I personally would go Deathcap third or Void third just for max DPS. With the logic of I don't care if I die. You already have 7 deaths, you're not shy of dying this game. Let's put it that way. I want to do max DPS because the more damage I do, then the higher chance my Katarina gets a reset. And my head if Katarina gets a reset, we win. That's my personal preference, but I definitely don't think Zhonya's is bad at all. Another Karthus player might go Zhonya, so that's why I'm not going to tell you it's a bad purchase. I just think this champion should be played for maximum DPS, especially when you have reset champs on your team like a Viego or Katarina or Jinx or blah blah blah. You're not living this guy. Also, don't forget to turn on your E first. The one time I want you to turn on your E, you're not using it. Turn on your E for half a second just to apply the red smite slow. Right. Anything helps. Probably still dies, but anything helps. Maybe it builds a distance. Just completely wasting Zhonya's. You just need to accept your death. You spent 1,600 gold, or was it 1,400 gold, just to completely waste it right away. Like, who cares if you die? Dragon's not up, Baron's not up, Otacon's not up. Like, it's just 300 gold. Nice. He got a cloth armor because he killed you. Well fucking played. Nice cloth armor, bro. Like, who cares? Don't waste your Zhonya's. You just wasted 1,000 gold. And he got 300. He actually got more gold from you using it than him killing you. This is also why I was thinking about Void, because this, you're never dealing damage to these guys anymore. You're only dealing, and this guy also has MR, so you're only doing damage to these two. Okay, well this isn't your fault. Chippy's dying for no reason, and then Cat's dying for no reason. Maybe you could watch. You could probably watch it earlier. It looks like if you ulted earlier, Garen would have died. Maybe Cat would have lived. So this is just a map awareness moment. Especially as Karthus, you really have to be like schizo looking at your teammates. Imagine if you had Zhonya's here. Holy fuck! This might be like pretty good. Yeah, it might be better than little good. Nice try there. But I don't know. I mean, for early mid game, I don't really have big takeaways. I think when you're playing Karthus, you just need to keep your farm up and try to avoid dying so much. This is obviously 9 deaths is too many, which is sometimes overspacing, sometimes taking fights you're not supposed to take, like invading their bot side randomly when you have 2,000 gold in your inventory. So just try to die less, and then you're gonna naturally farm more when you die less because you're just gonna be on time to your camps, and then they're gonna die faster, and then they're gonna respawn faster, and then they're gonna die faster again. This champ's all about just playing as high economy as possible. I think now the second they get Baron, the game's over. And again, it's just another example of you just dying too much. You can literally see the port activating. You can throw your W right now. You can just give the camp or smite it, start leaving.
The Talon has slow immunity, so like slowing him doesn't matter. He has phase rush and his own slow cleanse.
Alright, and then just leave.
I can't get away from him.
You just have to leave then. I mean, slowing is gonna matter. It might not affect him as much as a regular champion. You might have 900 movement speed, and slowing him might just bring him to 850, but it's still gonna affect him. I'll tell you what, it's gonna affect him. Wing him there is going to affect him more than queuing the fucking Gromp. Let's go with that, right? So just please leave. You just have 10 deaths. It's too many. And then you die, and then your teammates die, and then they get Baron. And I think once they get Baron, the game's over. It's too hard to play against Baron. Baron does like 80% win rate. And now they have Soul, and they're always gonna get Soul with Baron because they have map control, because that's what Baron means. So I think that game's over. I don't know. I honestly don't think you even played that terribly. Like, to your credit, I do think your teammates were kind of running at this game. But I also think that it is never acceptable to have 10 deaths. And over half your deaths are just not respecting Garen, not Wing Fog of War, not queuing bushes. And there's like one death was chasing into the jungle, which I've already addressed for no reason. And then two or three other deaths were just getting hit by a Leona E blind. When again, you should always be able to space Leona E. So I think you just have to die less this game, and maybe you'll have more opportunities to be useful. But again, I do think that this game was rough in general. I don't think Karthus Exhaust is bad. Again, I'm personally not an enjoyer of it, but I know plenty of Karthus players do take it. My rule on Exhaust on Karthus is to take it when they don't have click on spells. Like, for example, you could be 20-0 Karthus, right? But when you don't have flash, Leona can always max range ult you, and there's nothing. You could have faker movement, you'll never dodge it, right? That's just not what your champion's good at. And then if you could be 20-0, but if you get hit by Leona ult, you're just gonna die. Same thing when I'm against like a Malphite or a Nautilus. You could be 20-0, Nautilus can always flash ult you. Malphite can always flash ult you, and if you don't have the ability to flash it, you're just gonna die. So the only time I personally like Exhaust is when they don't have champs like Leona ult, Malphite ult, Nihilus ult, like Garen Flash Q, right? If they don't, let's say this Garen champ is Cassante, and this Leona champ is Nami. I actually think Exhaust is great here because none of these champs can reliably get on you, you know. But as you saw, every fight Garen just runs at you with Stridebreaker and Q. And if you had Flash, you could maybe flash over a wall and escape him. But with Exhaust and that, it's just not happening. So, any questions about this game? Anything I didn't look at that you want to talk about?
Does Garen slow cleanse and phase rush slow cleanse stack additively or multiplicatively?
That's a wonderful question. Let me think. I mean, I know they changed how Garen W used to work. Let me think. Let me actually think. Let me just check. League. That's the awesome thing about League. We could just check these things instead of guessing. League, fandom, League, Garen. Garen. I do know that movement speed has diminishing returns in League. That's one thing. But let me look at this W.
What about slow cleanse?
For the first.
His Q is just 100% slow. Like it'll just cleanse all the slows. I'm pretty sure, right?
Garen's. Holy fuck! We need to nerf fucking Garen. Garen cleanses all the slows, gains direction. Yeah. Yeah, his Q cleanses it. It's just a cleanse. His W is a tenacity thing, so the W doesn't matter. For 0 point, it's a 60% tenacity. Q's a slow. So,
I think your
I
best
assume you're
chance
talking
is
about
probably
this
like
portal thing, right? Let's look at
Wing
this
him
portal
after he
thing.
keys.
You see.
What is it? Here?
Yeah, this guy insta Qs.
It doesn't make a difference though, because the earlier you force him to throw his Q, like, because if you slow him right now, right? Let's say you throw the W instantly, off rip, he spawns out of the portal slowed. He has to instantly Q to cleanse it, right? But when he's able to hold it, he can get close, and then because then there's a world where he Qs it, but then by the time you're here, and then by the time he's here, and there's always a small chance that that what's it called? That now his Q won't reach you. But when you let him get this close, and now instead of queuing off rip to the portal, right? He can queue when he's in your face. Now he's always going to reach you. So it's still always going to be like advantageous to make him instantly pop it, right? And also you have multiple slows, so he cleanses it. That means when he queues it, he can't cleanse it again. So if you instantly W him, right? And then he instantly cleanses it, then you can. So let's say you W him, he cleanses it, and then you could slow him again with your Q. The cleanse, you can't cleanse it again. He already used his Q. So then that's on then it's his W 60% tenacity, but that's a completely different thing, you know. So it's never gonna be bad to slow him instantly, and then obviously once you see him portaling, just fucking stop hitting the grump and leave. That's it. And maybe don't type get C. Oh, actually that's Katarina. Never mind. I saw Cat and saw Karthus, and they seem similar. Any other questions this game?
No.
All right, sounds good.